Hello, welcome, and welcome to the channel. You are on this Nigerian Authentic Babes channel. Yes, this is Chats with T, and you are on this Nigerian Authentic Babes channel. Welcome, thank you for coming. So, I have with me a lovely glass of wine that's almost finished, so I need to ration it, throughout the video because this video, there's a lot that's going to be going on. I have a lot to say. Guys, I want to talk about this whole cheesecake wahala. That's the only way I can describe it. Cheesecake wahala. Cheesecake wahala. This girl that went on this whole day on the Cheesecake Factory, and the guy took her out on a date. She was late, and she came down and she was really rude. She locked him out of his car and so on and so forth. There's several things. I watched the interview. I think her name is Alicia and the guy's name is Jay, and he's an Indian guy. Now, first of all, I have some interesting takes on this. There were several things that she did wrong, but at the same time, I have a problem with people's responses to this woman. I have a major problem with this, because you need to open your eyes and see that there's an issue. Okay, I'll explain the issues. So first of all, she came down. As many of you guys have known, you've probably already seen the video. She was late and she delayed them by an hour. The fancy restaurant they were supposed to go to, they missed, and she locked him out of his car. She was rude. She was talking about how she was too beautiful to go to a Cheesecake Factory day or whatever. See, guys, we don't have the Cheesecake Factory here in the UK, so I don't even know what that is. Now, for me, cheesecake is not what I deem as enjoyable food. I don't enjoy cheesecake. It's not something I like in general. So an idea of going to a place called the Cheesecake Factory would be an absolute nightmare for me. Now, I definitely think she was wrong. She was 100% wrong in the way she approached the date, in the way she spoke to him, in the way she acted, being late. She didn't uphold her own standards, being late as well. And she explained a little bit about why she was late, blah, blah, blah. But I definitely felt that, there was a problem. It was very annoying. That she would be late for a date and they would end up missing their reservation for the nicer restaurant that they had booked. Now, my problem with her was the way she acted towards him, and she didn't really even consider anything that he would want or any of his, expectations. However, I don't think it's wrong that she wanted to go to somewhere fancy. And ironically, this entire cheesecake wahala, cheesecake debacle, cheesecake wahala has essentially reinforced the idea even more that Black women don't deserve anything more than the ordinary. It's completely nuts. Now, personally, for me, I don't see anything wrong with her not wanting to go to the Cheesecake Factory. We don't have that in the UK. It sounds like, it's cheesecake. It's pretty much what it says, right? I'm sure they serve other things other than cheesy cake, but at the end of the day, that's pretty much what their signature is, right? Now, I don't see anything wrong with her not wanting to go somewhere like that. Guys, on my first date with G, we went to 3. Did you see my fingers? Did you see my fingers? 1, 2, 3. 3 different restaurants. It wasn't just one. We went to this beautiful place called San Carlo, very fancy. I had lobster, different things. And then after that, we went to Gaucho, which is like this really nice Italian restaurant in the city. And then after that, we went to a bar. I mean, we went from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, and we ended up spending the rest of the evening just laughing and joking around. And our date lasted like 6 to 7 hours. It was incredibly magical. That's the only way to describe it. It was magical. And G paid for everything. He didn't make a big fuss. It wasn't a big deal. He just paid for everything. It was as simple as breathing, in my opinion. And it was the most wonderful, fantastic day. And, things went well. And now we're where we are, engaged, and we've got the traditional engagement coming up now. And as you guys know, I haven't been with G for long. It's literally a year and like 4 months coming at the end of the month. But definitely, I don't see a problem with her not wanting to go to the Cheesecake Factory. I don't think that's the issue. I have a couple of issues with this whole thing. First of all, how she behaved was wrong. I believe she's been following the whole hypergamy stuff, which is fine. But hypergamy never mentions you being rude. You don't have to be rude to people. Rude to people. It's not making sense. Like, the sense is not sensing. The logic is not logicking. The logic is malfunctioning, is destructioning, is dysfunctioning, is discombobulating. It's not making sense. The whole thing was not making sense. The way she was acting was not making sense. But there was nothing wrong with her not wanting to go to the Cheesecake Factory. At the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with her not wanting to do that. Now, she was incredibly rude. That's true. I don't think the guy's insane. I think you've seen a certain side of him, but I think his composure is admirable. Now, the way she acted wasn't right. And definitely, if I'd acted like that on my first date with G, we probably wouldn't have gone to 3 restaurants. And I probably wouldn't have this incredibly big, shiny, beautiful diamond on my finger. And he also even got me this ring as well. This was for Valentine's Day as well. And this was like the prelude to the engagement ring. So as you guys know, I posted on my community tab recently of the great news and pictures and all of that. So if you haven't seen that, you should go and see it. And I will be dropping a vlog. I will be dropping a Hip Hop the Question vlog. I'll be dropping that at some point. So yeah, when it's ready and, you know, when we've done everything that we need to do. So I have touched down on the first point. My first point was that, Omo, she was wrong, she was wrong in the way she acted. She was wrong. You can only wrong. I don't know why that came to my head. Okay, but she was wrong. We've established that. Fine. Now this is where it gets interesting. So I need to take a glass before I really go in, because you guys need to hear this different perspective, because I have a different perspective on this. So let me take a glass so I can prepare you lot for what I've got to say. Okay? Oh, it's good. It's very good. Okay, now that I've taken that glass of wine, you guys have to be ready. The response to this woman is utterly ridiculous. So on both sides, you have the men. Now, where they were interviewed on this guy's channel, Kevin Weasley. Anytime I think Weasley, is it Weasley? I don't know. I'm getting Harry Potter. Harry Potter is just coming into my head. I was just thinking of Ron Weasley, and then I just kept thinking Weasley. I don't know if it's Kevin Weasley or Kevin Weasel or Wesley or who or Wesley. I don't know. Whatever his name was. They were interviewed on the channel. The guy's name is called Kevin. That's all I know for certain. And this guy seems like he's coming from the red pill space, because he started saying something to Jay, who's the Indian guy. He was like, oh, by the way, you're like a major figure in the manosphere now. And you're just like, the guys are just like super impressed, and you're seen as like a giga chad. And I was like, hold on. Yes, he composed himself very well, and I liked his behavior. But his behavior is what any normal, mentally sane and adjusted person would do. The fact that he is being lauded as this incredibly giga chad person just shows me the state of most men's mental mind, like mental stability these days. Most men are mentally unstable. Most guys, especially the ones you see on the internet, making all these weird comments. And you see, even in the comment section, these guys will fly off the handle at any little thing, ready to tear somebody into pieces over every little thing. Incredibly unstable. And the fact that this guy is seen as the pinnacle of composure. So what was he going to do if he wasn't acting like that? Was he going to go and punch her and beat her up because she said she didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory? It's actually really, really pathetic that this is seen as such a huge thing, because it shows me that most men they cannot control their temper, volatile, unstable, violent at the quickest Literally, the flick of a wrist. Violent at the flick of a wrist. Literally. They go from 0 to 1,000 for ordinary little things that can be solved with simple composure and knowing how to comport yourself and knowing how to be diplomatic. It just shows me that most men are very, very emotionally unstable. The fact that they're losing this guy, because I don't see what he did as anything incredibly amazing. G is also the same way. G is incredibly good-natured. He has a very nice and calm temperament, and he forgives very easily. G forgives very easily. Sometimes when we're arguing, he'll be like, we're arguing and then I'm upset and then he's upset and then an hour later he's like, what are we eating, babe? What are we eating, honey? So what do you want to eat? What should we eat? What should we do? Like, he's just so calm. He doesn't hold things to his chest. And the way guys were acting as if this man was doing something incredible, I think it reflects on your lack of mental stability and emotional stability, because I see it on the comment sections all the time. This reminds me of the video I made about passport bros. Oh my God. If you see the way guys came and started ranting and raving like lunatics on that video in the comment section, I was thinking, no wonder you're hailing this guy, because many of you would have punched the woman at the slightest minute of her, showing disagreement. Many of you would have just gone boom, 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 Mike Tyson, boom, 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 boom. If you see the way the guys were ranting and raving on my video, like, what is doing you, Oga? What is doing you, sir? Shebi, you are okay? Shebi, are you okay? Like, Annie, are you okay? Like, the thing was getting me confused. So yeah, that's a big problem. That is a very big problem. That's my first issue outside of the lady's bad behavior. The second issue I have is the response of Black women to this woman's looks. It is incredibly disgusting, the response I've been seeing. All the comments from just various different videos of Black women, and it's not just Black men doing it, it's Black women doing it, insulting this woman's looks. Now, fair enough, she made her looks into something to be talked about. That's true. But remember, I've already established that this whole debacle already sets the narrative that Black women don't deserve any more than the bare minimum. And you lot are buying into this. You're feeding into this with your comments. Oh, she looks like she's ready for the McDonald's date. Or you're calling her McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Wimpy, whatever silly fast food restaurants, is it oodles, Chinese, takeaway, whatever. You're calling her so many different things. I'm seeing so many Black women talking about her looks, her body, her hair, her face, her features, her height, as if many of you don't look the same. When I look at some of the comments that some of these Black women are making, some of you look exactly like this lady. You look like her, man. You're looking like her. You look similar. You're talking about her features. You're talking about her body, calling her fat. First of all, the mistake you're making is that you believe that everyone who isn't super skinny doesn't deserve a lavish date. Where has that gotten you guys? I really need to know where that's gotten people, because it's not gotten people far. Secondly, many of the Black women that are talking about her body and commenting on her body, you look the same. You have the same features, the same hair type, the same body type. We all know that being super skinny isn't really what's most common amongst women. If you go into the stores and you look at the dress sizes, do you see size 0 in abundance? No, you don't, because it's not common. And really, the most common size is honestly, more upwards, if I'm honest. The most common size is more upwards. When you are shopping online, you see more of the bigger sizes out of stock than you see the smaller sizes. So let's be real here. Let's not act as if, being super skinny means that not being super skinny means that she doesn't deserve a lavish date. That's a ridiculous notion. Secondly, the idea that because you're not super skinny means you're fat is one of the worst takes I've seen, and one of the worst kind of narratives I've been seeing in these comments. Just because you're not super skinny does not mean you're fat, or not everybody is made to be super skinny. I have been super skinny. I've been size 0. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Open your ears. Open your ears. Your ears. Do you see me? Do you see me in my Niger accent? I'm telling you to open your ears. And I'm telling you that it was not fun. It was not fun being super size 0. It was horrible. And now, the way I am now is my natural body. This is my natural body. This is without starvation. This is just me eating and enjoying food, shit. You feel me? You feel me? I dey chop well. So, I much prefer this. So, this idea that, if you're not super skinny, then you don't deserve a lavish date. I need to stop seeing some of these comments, because you guys are also disqualifying yourselves by that very notion, because most women are not super skinny. So for me to see Black women making comments on her body, saying, oh, she's fat, she's this, she's that, she doesn't deserve to go anywhere other than the Cheesecake Factory. You do know that many of you also have the same build, and you also look the same. You've got the same features. You're talking about her edges, how she doesn't have her edges. Please, can we leave that edges thing inside 2000? Can we leave that edges thing with COVID? Can we leave it there? Can we leave that edges thing with COVID? Sigini, please, let's leave that edges thing with COVID, because let's be real, edges is not paying bills. All right, edges is not paying you guys bills. So let's leave that nonsense there immediately. Second of all, the way people are talking as if, literally honing on every little thing about this woman physically. Now, bearing in mind, she talked about her looks, and she talked about how, she feels she's too beautiful to go to the Cheesecake Factory, or she's dressed too well, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that was also a problem. That was also a problematic behavior, because she should have known already that the guy found her attractive. He wouldn't have taken you out on a date if he didn't find you attractive. So she should have known that already. So parroting on about how good she looked wasn't necessary, in my opinion, because a guy wouldn't take you out on a date and spend money if he didn't find you attractive. That's just like common sense. That's obvious. But my problem is the responses that I'm getting from I'm seeing Black women do. I expect that from Black men, but the comments I'm seeing from Black women is actually really ironic and sad. Remember, the first issue I said, outside of her bad behavior, was the issue with this glorification of Jay's behavior, when Jay's behavior should be the norm, but it's being held as up there because most men are mentally unstable. Second of all, my second issue is the comments I'm seeing from Black women about her body, her weight, her face, when most of you have the same features. Her features are, I see some of the people in the comments, you look the same. And there's no problem with that. In my opinion, she's a beautiful woman. In my opinion, she looks, maybe the combination of what she was wearing that day wasn't what I would wear, but there's nothing wrong with the way she looks. And this piling on, I feel like some of you are using this woman's debacle, her faux pas, as an excuse to project all your dating woes. I'm seeing, like, there are responses where I'm genuinely afraid for this woman's, well, not afraid, but I'm seeing people calling her job. They want to get her fired, different things like, oh, more easy that deep. Can you relax? Can you relax? Can you relax? I definitely think that she's taken a couple of the teachings. So she obviously watched Shira 7. That's pretty obvious. And I used to watch Shira like long time ago, like years ago, maybe 2018, way before I met G. And definitely I stopped watching her for after a couple of months because it was all really repetitive and I could glean pretty much everything that she was saying. But you guys just need to remember that as you're watching Shira, the men are also watching Shira, and they're also taking everything that Shira is teaching you and using it, taking it and using it and learning how to deflect it back onto you. So they already know what you're planning already. So you need to remember that. Just don't forget that all. As you're watching Shira, the men are watching Shira. Just know that. Know that and know peace in Jesus' name. Okay. Second of all, right? She obviously watches this level up content, hypergamy, blah, fine. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. But it's clear that she's like every other person on social media who cannot separate the content they watch from the lifestyle they want to live. I see people whose entire personalities is based off the content they watch. They watch one video, they internalize everything, and they're suddenly everything they watch in that video. There is no room for adapting what they watch. Remember I said you be careful the kind of content creators you watch. You don't need to watch every content creator. Be careful what you absorb. I am very careful what information I absorb and which content creators I watch. I don't watch anybody anyhow. I don't have people filling my head anyhow with nonsense. Just be very careful on that one. And another thing I would say as well, right? Like I said, people are projecting their dating issues and their dating as if she's the cause of all the problems in their dating life on her. The woman messed up. The woman effed up. And as a consequence, she probably shouldn't get a second date with Jay. But at the same time, it's clear that both of them don't have the same values. Like, can you not see? She's talking about upscale restaurants. In the interview, this guy was talking about family traditions. Family is the most important thing, blah, blah. Like, they're on two different wavelengths. She's not at the stage yet where they're on two different wavelengths. Secondly, like I said, I mentioned that a lot of people are projecting, right? Okay, I'll even give you an example. But before I give you an example, allow me this sip of my wine. Sidini, thank you. Look at that. Okay, I will go into an example. Even on my videos, now I'm aware that I might get some interesting comments on this video. There are always some nut jobs, sycophants, wacko jackos, nonsense individuals or whatever, but for the most part, I always get positive comments for the most part. And you guys know that my channel is all about better outcomes. And not just better outcomes, but better outcomes for longer. I want Black women to get better outcomes, but also for longer. And I'm not about the 1 year marriage and you fizzle up and then divorce after 2 years. And I actually have a sister who has been married for like over a decade to a European man, the loveliest man in the world, like one of the loveliest men. My brother-in-law is really, really a nice person, like genuinely a lovely person. And even she, used to tell me about when they first started dating, how people would project a lot of their misfortunes on them. I'll give you an example. In my comment section, I had one nut job come into my comment section and start talking about how I'm a narc, blah, blah. First of all, you don't even know what a narc is. A narc is one of those words that has been used so much by people who don't even understand the meaning of the word. This is a clinical diagnosis. And you are coming in and calling people these words, maybe because you don't like what they say or you don't agree with them. That's not how it works. You don't diagnose someone with a clinical illness because you don't like what they say. That's absolute nonsense. But not only did this wacko jacko come and say the most ridiculous nonsense on my channel, but they also went and started talking about how, oh, you're just lucky in love and you were always destined to be lucky. And, if we look at your planets and your horoscopes and see how they align, then we would be able to see that you were always destined to be lucky in love and you're just lucky, blah. And I was just like, can you shut up? Like, for real, can you I was just like, first of all, yes, I was very lucky. I was lucky with G. But, luck isn't the only thing that plays a part in romantic success and happiness. I actually had to do the work to become the kind of person that could sustain a happy relationship that would lead to marriage with someone. I had to do the work. I had to go and look at myself and look at the kind of characteristics I had and whether it would gel and the kind of issues I had. I really had to do that before I was able to really be able to sustain a happy relationship with someone where the person is happy to be with me and wants to be with me and loves me and cherishes me. I had to do the work on myself, love and cherish myself as well. So yes, I was lucky, but also it's what you do with the luck. So I see a lot of people projecting nonsense. And I'm thinking, I just looked at that comment and I was like, wow, if this is how you reason, no wonder you're using planets and horoscopes to explain things away. Okay, it makes sense. But on a serious note, this is a very big issue because I'm seeing a lot of, like I said, I expect it from black men, but black women, I don't like talking badly about black women because my channel is all about black women's improvement. But this idea that you have to be the most beautiful to get a fancy date, see, please, that narrative is not going to help you at all. And the comments that I'm seeing against this lady is absolutely nuts. The comments that I'm seeing from black women stripping the way she looks down, it doesn't help because, like I said previously, and I've said it several times, the narrative, this whole debacle, this whole faux pas, is setting the narrative that black women don't deserve anything more than the basic. Now, obviously, her attitude was horrible. And I do not advise any black woman, especially if you want to date out, going and behaving like that. If I had behaved like that, I would not be engaged and I would not be in the wonderful relationship I am now. So definitely, I don't advise people being rude. I don't advise you being rude. And just because you want to date and level up doesn't mean you need to be rude. I don't advise that at all. In fact, I would say, it's all about being pleasant and it's all about being, enjoying the time that you're spending getting to know someone. When you're trying to get to know someone, you have to actually enjoy getting to know someone, enjoy that process. But at the same time, this mindset that, because she's not super slim, she doesn't deserve to think about going on the anywhere else other than the Cheesecake is messed up. She did several things that were messed up. Videoing him, locking him out of his car. That was no, it was too much. It was too much. She was cosplaying Cruella de Vil there. It was too much, I beg. Locking him out of the car and, just being in general really tense and just being really unpleasant. That was wrong. But there are several problems with people's reactions. The glorification of Jay's composure when that really should be the norm. And the responses of black women to her looks. This is a mess. Because actually, black women are also, if you're going to talk about her body and her weight and her facial features and her edges and all of that, then most black women are disqualifying themselves. And I'm not saying every black woman looks the same, but like I said, most people are not super skinny. And that's okay. You shouldn't have to be super skinny to demand to go or to want to go somewhere nice. I don't think that that's how the world should be. Because if that's how the world if that's how the world is supposed to be, then most people would be incredibly miserable, right? Because then that means we should be able to say, if we were saying that all women need to be super skinny to demand somewhere lavish, that means all men need to be super rich to get, the woman of their dreams or to get a date. And that's not true. That's also not true. Now, I always encourage black women to date out. I always encourage black women to expand their options. It makes no sense for you to not date out and to stick to one group, especially when the same group of people you're sticking to will happily date anyone, including a slice of bread. It makes no sense for any black woman to hold herself off and say she's not going to date out. I always encourage black women to date out, but let's not see men of no color as some sort of saviors. At the end of the day, these are still men. They're not saints. And just because they're of a different color doesn't mean they're going to be saintly. You still have to have the same values. You still have to gel on the same things. So let's not mess up. You understand what I'm saying? Let's not mess up on that one. Let's not fuck up. Okay? Let's not fuck up on that one. But I will say this, right? Date out. And when you're dating out, date out with sense. Just because you have standards doesn't mean you should be unpleasant. And doesn't mean you need to internalize everything you watch. You can take the meat and spare out the bones. Take some of what you watch, if you like, adapt it to the type of lifestyle you want to live and the type of personality you are. You don't have to just follow everything you blindly watch. That's a mess. And I can tell it's obvious with Alicia that she's not she's not developed an identity yet that can withstand the social media content that she watches. Like, you need to be able to absorb only certain things that apply to you and leave the rest, you know? So yeah, that's really what I have to say. My opinions on this is not the same as everybody else. It's like what I'm seeing is not making sense. It's not good at all. She was definitely wrong, and you should never act like that on a date. You know, really, what she could have done is just gone on the date, and then she could have just been like later, oh, by the way, I don't really like the Cheesecake Factory. Maybe next time we can go this place. And then he would have said, yeah, I had another place booked, but you were late. And then she could have apologized and said, oh, I was late. I know I was. I'm really sorry. I was late for work, blah, blah, blah. How about we go this place next time? And then I'll make sure I'm 100% on time. And then she would have had more investment in getting ready and being prepared on time, because it would have been a date that she would have wanted to go on, and it would have been a place that she suggested. And he would have felt better because she would have apologized for being late, and you know, she would have actually gone on a date with him at the Cheesecake Factory. So I think that's what could have happened, and that could have avoided that whole debacle. But yeah, she definitely should have recorded that. That was a mess. You know, there are a lot of things that people do behind closed doors that are messy, and it's only by the saving grace that majority of people don't see them. Otherwise, they would have probably been classed as crazy too. I definitely think this is a thing that she can learn from and she can grow from it. But Black women, when you want to date out, right, and you want to get a provider man, that is not the way you behave. It's not, you don't behave like that. You don't behave like that. You don't behave like that. So yeah, I think she was 100% wrong, but the responses of people are messed up, and it doesn't really do anything positive for Black women at all, in my opinion. It's just, no, it doesn't help Black women at all. Black women's responses, you know, it doesn't help. It doesn't make anything better. And I'm all about better outcomes. I don't care about all this petty, childish nonsense. I'm all about better outcomes. That's it. So yeah, can we chill out? Can we all just chill out? Can we just stop? You guys have made me go back into my South London accent. You guys have made me go back into my South London accent because of just the foolery is just too much. I just can't deal with it. I was in my authentic Nigerian babe accent. You guys have slid me out of that into my South London Queen's English because it's just too much. So yeah, it's not nice. I don't like it. Let's just relax on that. I'm very sure this video will get some interesting comments. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to stop anything. I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing. I'm still going to be enjoying what I'm enjoying. And I'm still going to be marrying the man of my dreams. So it is what it is. Guys, I can be too much sometimes. I can be too much. Like I said, at the end of the day, let's remove this idea that a woman has to be a certain weight or a certain size. Definitely, a woman has to be healthier, I think. Healthy. A human being has to be healthy. But, you know, let's remove this whole crushing. Remember, I've made videos on the crushing beauty standards that Black women face, and yet women are making remarks on this woman's body as if you're not under the pressure of the crushing beauty standards already. Or more, you get sense. Like, okay, let me not even go in too much, because it's too much. It's too much. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this topic. Guys, I don't even want to ever hear the word cheesecake ever again in my life. On a serious note, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I cannot stand the word cheesecake because this video has made me go in between two accents. That's how deep and ridiculous and petty and childish this whole thing is. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, check out my other videos, and I'll be dropping the the question vlog soon because we had the most amazing time. It was the most amazing day of our lives when he popped the question. We had the most amazing time. I've posted some pictures in the community tab, so if you haven't seen it, go and see it. But yeah, we had the most amazing time. So yeah, I will be posting that vlog soon. Thank you guys very much for watching. I need to go and eat because I'm honestly very hungry and it's getting dark. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go and have some cheesecake. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. Don't have cheesecake. Have cheesecake if you want. But yeah, you know, let's all try and chill out a bit, because the reactions to this woman has just passed the level of normal. It's too much. It's too much. Let's chill out. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys very much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Kachipo. Bye.